No, I'm not announcing my candidacy for no type of public office or nothing like that. And no, that's not a Donald Trump flag. That's a Wu-Tang is Forever flag. Before I go into this, just remember, politicians are temporarily. Wu-Tang is forever. Now, here in Rock Hill, South Carolina, York County, specifically, we're having a sheriff election on January the 11th. So for all the people in the community that's not informed, here's what happened. Sheriff Kevin Tosin, I think's his name, he decided not to run for re-election as York County, South Carolina sheriff. There was not a Democrat that ran, but he was running unopposed. So what he did was he waited until the registration time for any other sheriff that wanted to register to run. He waited until that time was over. And then he came and said, well, you know what? I'm not going to run for re-election. My wife's going to run. So a couple people in the Democratic Party and even some Republicans, they kind of thought there was like a little ethical, where like if you knew you weren't going to run, you know, you should have told everybody. You should have let everybody know at the same time. But your wife was privy to that information. So being that he wasn't running again, his wife decided that she was going to run. So now she's going to write herself in, run in her husband's place, unopposed. So everybody made a big fuss about it. So now they opened the registration back up for people that want to register to run for sheriff. They opened it back up. They held a vote on it or something, opened it back up. Then there was still no Democratic people in the primary for the Democrats. There still was no Democrats running. So Republicans ended up fouling. 5 of them did. Chris Blevins, Heath Clevenger, Michael Belt, Tony Breeden, and the sheriff's wife, who is Beth Bryant Tosin. And for those of y'all that don't know all your politics beyond city politics, Beth Bryant Tosin is the ex-sheriff, Bruce Bryant, who kind of handpicked Tosin. That's her dad. You know, so she's been in law enforcement 26, 36 years, something like that, one of the two. She's been in law enforcement for a long time. And even though that was kind of like a little shady, unethical move in some people's eyes that he did, from a lot of my insiders, from the York County Detention Center and the way that place is run, they say he did a lot of good over there. He put a lot of people in the places that they deserved to be in when he came there. Meaning, if you was looked over by the previous administration, he came in there and made sure that was right. So a lot of people got put in the positions that they deserve. So kudos and hats off to Mr. Bryant for that. You know, Mr. Tosin for that. Tosin did that. So now we have these 5 candidates that are running. I read an article that said York County voters now know that the Republican candidate for sheriff in the primary, they know who it'll be now. But here's what happened. Councilman Roddy, our great super councilman from York County, who's been reelected several terms, if I can add that, he made a post and encouraged all the Democrats to go out and vote. Well, a lot of Republicans came on his post, they shared the post, and everything he do, they put him under a magnifying glass and get mad about it. But he shared a post encouraging us, Democrats, I don't actually identify for a party no more. I favor the Democratic Party, but I'll vote for a candidate fairly. I'm never gonna vote strictly Democratic. A lot of my friends get mad at me about it, have stuff said about it. I ain't gonna vote straight Democrat. I ain't gonna vote straight nothing. I'm gonna vote for whoever the best candidate is, and that's word up. But anyway, so a lot of Republican peoples got mad at Councilman Roddy, and they went to screaming, the Democrats should sit this one out. This ain't they fight. They ain't got nothing to do with it. Well, it ain't our fault that Tosin did such a good job. No Democrat wanted to run against him because he was doing a great job. Okay, so he pulls the move to say he's not going to run after the registration time's over, and then his wife goes ahead and run. Okay, so no Democrat still ran in the Democratic primary. Nobody registered. Okay, so isn't the Republican sheriff going to be the sheriff of every resident in the county? So why would y'all try to get mad at him for encouraging all residents of the county to go out and vote for the best candidate on the ticket? Why would you get mad? Why would you want him not to encourage that? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? And there is some law in a lot of states. I ain't sure how many of them, I ain't sure the numbers, but some states do not allow you to do that. You get what I'm saying? Some states, if nobody in your primary run, you can't vote or some kind of way they got it, but it only applies to people who are registered Democrats or registered Republicans or whatever. Independents, it don't bother. Okay, but we happen to be a state and a county that don't have that law in place. So what's wrong with a councilman getting out, encouraging citizens to go vote? If the sheriff is going to be the sheriff over Democrats, Republicans, people that don't vote, independents, what's the problem? And I read some threads and some of the stuff the people was posting and sending to each other, and y'all horrible to him, man. Everything he do, y'all bother him. But enough of that. On June 11th, there are going to be 5 candidates. You're going to have Chris Blivens, Heath Clevenger, Michael Belk, Tony Breeden, and Beth Bryant Tosin. You're going to have those candidates running for sheriff here in York County, South Carolina. And that's the field. Now, if no candidate gets more than half of the votes in the June 11th primary, there will be on June the 25th, I'm reading here off my computer, there will be a runoff for the top 2 vote getters. And the likelihood of that happening is pretty high, coming from a couple of Republican leaders, David O'Neill and Glenn McCall, as well as a political science professor, Adolphus Belt from Winthrop. So all of these guys are saying with that many candidates running, it may be very rare that one of them will get more than 50% of the vote. Because if no one gets over 50% of the vote, there's a runoff. And that runoff will have the 2 top vote getters in that. So I encourage everybody, Republicans, independents, Democrats, and listen, if you don't vote, don't come on my thread talking about, man, fuck that shit, they ain't gonna do nothing for us anyway, we don't vote anyway. Don't come on my thread doing that, because I'm gonna be real nasty to you in a real sarcastic, educated way, because I got some good people watching this. So just remember that, man. June 11th, everybody get out and vote. Democrats, Republicans, independents, everybody. All y'all go out and vote. Go out and vote. You know, we don't care what Ralph Norman or none of them say, or anybody that's got something to say about the Democrats going out and vote. The law says that we can go out and vote. So you go out. I don't know much about any of these candidates. Like I say, Beth Bryant Tosin is the wife of the sheriff that elected not to run after registration, and then she ran. So they opened it up for everybody else to run. We have Tony Breeden. Tony Breeden used to be an ex-City Rock Hill police officer. A lot of us in the neighborhoods, we know him as Bars. I don't have anything bad to say about him. He was the police. He did his job. Our friend Hunt died, and I happened to sit next to him at the funeral. Had an offhanded conversation with him. without him being on police duty, and he seems to be a okay guy. So I don't have a problem with him. Michael Belk, I think he's an retired police officer, something like that too. One of these guys is the current chief deputy at York County right now. Chris Blevins, Heath Clevenger. I don't know which one it is, but we'll look into this before I end this video, and we'll go right here and try to see what we got, because the stage is set. June 11th. Everybody go out and vote. I encourage everyone to go out and vote. Yeah, so Terry spoke with Tosin and two other candidates, Chris Blevins and Heath Clevenger, last week. As of Wednesday's filing deadline, two more people joined the race together. Michael Belk is the one that's the deputy chief police of Rock Hill Police Department. Let's get our facts right. And he says the qualities that make him the best candidate is his proven experience, leadership, and continued commitment to profession. So let's take that into consideration for Mr. Belk. Belk also says that he's worked his way through the ranks at the police department in the last 30 years, and now he commands 5 different divisions. He feels going into the sheriff office will be a lot better transitions for him than other candidates. Okay. Then you have Breeden. Breeden grew up in Charlotte, North Carolina, and started working for the Rock Hill Police Department in 1995. There are some people that don't ever know what they're going to do in life, he says, and then there are some people that know what they're supposed to do. That's what Breeden says. He says he loved the work. He advanced from patrol to street crimes and ended his career as a lieutenant before retiring 2 years ago. A priority for Breeden is to improve how the community sees law enforcement. He says he believes we consistently need to improve our relationship with all parts of the county. Now, just not just where it's easy, but where it's difficult. Hats off to him for that. He's also said he's told everybody, if I'm supposed to be there, nothing will stop it. Yes, sir. So you can go and check out a couple of the candidates for yourself before June the 11th. I encourage everybody to pick up a paper on your news app. Just go check out the candidates, hear what they're talking about, see what they're saying, see what their mission statements are, and just go from there, man. And let's try to get us a good sheriff for this county, man, that's going to be fair, impartial, unbiased to everyone. Let's get us a great sheriff here, York County. And thank everybody for tuning in to the video. And I'll be coming weekly with my view on political things, as well as news that the news don't news to y'all about. Have a great day. Skinny J, aka John Cunningham, Floss Films.